USA, USA, USA. Those were the sounds, the chants that we heard over and over yesterday with a group of very happy humans. Hey everyone, Off the Rails Sports with your host Bert Beiswanger. We're having a great day. It's a gold medal Monday. Get a leg up on the week. Now, we're getting a leg up on the week starting at Sunday because of yesterday because of the gold medal game, USA versus Canada. Wow, what a game! What a game! USA, the Kachuk brothers, the Hughes brothers, everybody, just what a gritty, hard-fought American hockey type of game. USA versus Canada, huge all the time, but on the big stage, USA's lost to Canada in overtime at the Four Nations last year, 2014 Olympics, 2010 Olympics in Vancouver, 2014 Sochi, 2010 Vancouver. This is huge. I mean, Canada's the gold standard, and so to put this in perspective for you, the this was probably the aside from a couple of roster decisions that I still have an issue with, but not still. I did, and if they would have lost, I really would have. But aside from that, still the best USA team probably ever put together. Others are saying it is the best USA team put together. USA hockey has come so far since the Miracle on Ice in 1980. And with the expansion of the NFL and all these different markets in California and the Sun Belt and Texas, I mean, you've got, think about this, on the USA Olympic team, you had two players from Phoenix, Arizona. 20 years ago, you would have laughed at that. But that's not the case now. At any rate, best USA team ever. Fortunately, they were playing probably the best Olympic team ever. And Canada, this Canada team was loaded. Sidney Crosby was hurt. He did not play. That certainly was a factor. But nonetheless, it's what a game. Lived up to all the hype. Canada's probably wondering how they lost that game. The shots on goal, they dominated. Time of possession, they dominated. I mean, they were most of the second and third period felt like the Americans were on the penalty kill. Connor Hellebuyck saw a post from Tyrese Halliburton, said, "What the hell?" Helle. And that's how Hellebuyck spells his name. A lot of people had "What the Helle," Helley. That doesn't make any sense because his name is Helle. So, good job, Tyrese. But nonetheless, Connor Hellebuyck, 41 saves, including one of the greatest saves. So probably go down as one of the greatest saves of all time. Just that you can go look it up. The visuals are all out there. That reach back, put the stick down. Got very lucky or fortunate to get a piece of the puck. You need puck luck, and that's what he got. And then it misdirected and barely missed the net, barely missed the post. Some other things in that game, Nathan McKinnon missing a wide open net for Canada that would have put them up. The Americans played pretty well. I would have really had a problem today. I had a problem during the game with Austin Matthews getting a pretty good point-blank look at the net, decided to make an extra pass. It did not work out. And I told someone at the time, that opportunity, that hole that he had to score, it won't be there but more than 3 games the rest of the game, if that. And so I was upset with that because I thought that USA should have been up 2-0. But nonetheless, they grinded out. The defense, the penalty kill, they were undefeated. Did not give up a goal when other teams were on the power play. That's huge, especially killing off a 5-on-3 for about a minute 30, I don't know, 6, 8, don't remember exactly. You kill off a 5-on-3 for that much, and I bet statistically that team wins the game. I bet statistically that team wins the game. And USA had to kill off another 30 seconds of a 5-on-4. But the defense was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Offense good enough. Clearly not the top-end talent, the depth of top-end talent scoring-wise that Canada has. You know, when you have McDavid and McKinnon and others. It's just Crosby when he's healthy. It is just an onslaught of talent. But nonetheless, this is a big deal. I'm not nuts about 3-on-3 in overtime deciding a game like this, but it is what it is. No excuses around the horn by anyone. Just what a game-winning goal by Jack Hughes. Hats off, by the way, to the Chatham Tap Fishers for opening up. Sports bars, if you did not open up for this game, I'm not sure why you would not. But nonetheless, there was a lot of social media activity the day before the games, trying to figure out where in Indianapolis you could go watch this game. And up here in Fishers, it was Chatham Tap Fishers, packed by puck drop at 8:10, packed. People were trying to come in, get a table later on at 8:30. Didn't work, didn't matter. The crowd was wired up. It didn't hurt that we scored a goal pretty early to get us up on top. Brody from the Minnesota Wild scored, and yeah, that was awesome. Place went nuts, set the tone, and that was nerve-wracking the rest of the way. But I want to say that game-winning goal by Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes had a great tournament. Both Hughes brothers, Quint and Jack, the Kachuk brothers, Matthew and Brady, totally exemplified USA hockey, playing for your country, pride, wore their pride and love on their sleeve and through their words in their hearts, and that's why we tune in. We beat a really good team, and it's the first gold medal since the Miracle on Ice in 1980. The women beat Canada in overtime on Friday, and the men beat Canada in overtime on Sunday. I don't know that singularly one of the cooler sports moments I can remember in recent memory. The Pacers, obviously, their run was a cumulative effect of just so many awesome things happening. The championship, if Halliburton doesn't get hurt and we win the championship, the Pacers win the championship, that probably would have been one of the coolest moments of my life. It would have been, actually, not probably. But this was cool. This was cool. The Chatham Tap Fishers, it was, I'm going to tell you, pride from corner to corner and that beautiful pub, and people cheering on the game-winning goal, singing the national anthem, chanting USA, USA at different points throughout the game, before the game, throughout the game, after the game. It was awesome. What a day. And you know what? Just watching the celebration and then just skating around with Johnny Gaudreau's jersey, Johnny Hockey, for those of you who don't know, he and his brother killed 2 years ago while cycling, night before their sister's wedding. And sad story. Johnny Hockey is a big part of USA Hockey. Would likely have been on this team. Yeah, it was sad and cool at the same time. I mean, it tugged at my emotions. I will tell you that. But I kind of had to take a breath. I really did. And so USA Hockey has just never been in better shape. And it's been a 20-year build to this. Longer than that. It's been a 40-year build to this. But it's gonna be awesome moving forward. Hard to top this, but these teams will meet again. Canada again dominated, shots on goal, time of possession, whatever, it doesn't matter. Hellebuyck 41 saves, penalty kill, undefeated for the Americans, and they found a way to win. So loved every minute of it, and can't get enough of it. And we are going to celebrate this for a very long time. All right. Hey, another topic I want to talk about. I'm not going to go down a laundry list of stuff today. That USA Hockey is enough by itself. But the Bears Stadium deal in Northwest Indiana. And this is really interesting. It's kind of I believe it when I see it, not because I don't think Indiana can get the deal done, just because I think the Bears are going to end up still in Cook County, Arlington Heights. I almost said Arlington Park, but Arlington Heights, where Arlington Park used to be. But the stadium is not going to get done in Chicago. That ship has sailed. Chicago couldn't get that done. I don't think they got close to getting it done. And the Bears bought 350 acres where Arlington Park used to be, with the goal of building their stadium up there in Arlington Heights. And now, because of one thing or another, depending on who you listen to, we just know this. No matter who's at fault or whatever, getting stuff done in Chicago and Illinois is not like getting stuff done in Indiana. And that's just a fact. In 4 months, the state of Indiana has done more or come further than Chicago has or Illinois has in 4 years. We have a history of, they have a saying, we move at the speed of business. That's true. Look at Indianapolis. Look at what they get done. Just continuously. And it's easier to do business here. It's easier to do business here, get more for the money. So here's the deal. Everyone's getting worked up about this because Northwest Indiana, obviously being across state lines. If that state line wasn't there, I'm not sure how big of a deal this would be. Hammond, where they're talking about, the Hammond site, right on the border, right on the Illinois-Chicago border, right on Lake Michigan. Hammond is a part of the Chicago metro area. It's a part of Chicagoland. Really is probably closer. It is closer, I think, to the downtown Chicago, at least where the Bears Stadium currently is, Soldier Field, closer than Arlington Heights is. So I think people are getting a little, just way too worked up about the state lines thing. I know it feels that the Chicago Bears playing in Indiana feels weird. It feels like a quote slap in the face and all that. I don't blame the Bears at all for looking at all their options, and Northwest Indiana is a good one. Look, the New York Jets and the New York Giants play in New Jersey. All right, and there's other stadiums. The Chiefs are looking at cross state lines for their next stadium, and play in Kansas, or build that in Kansas. There are other stadiums that are on the outskirts and in the suburbs. That's all Hammond is. It's just across the state line, so it feels different. But I kind of, again, believe it when I see it, because I think they're still going to end up in Arlington, and the Bears own that land. So it'd be hard for me. It would be a tough pill to swallow also, as a horse racing fan, to watch them purchase that, tear down a perfectly beautiful racetrack stadium. I'm told I would never went there. I've seen pictures, I've seen video, watched races on TV, told it was one of the most beautiful tracks in America. Churchill Downs Inc., because they care about the bottom dollar as much or more than they care about horse racing, sold it to the Bears. Perfectly good track, well attended, all that. Sold it to the Bears, and so here we are. If that stadium doesn't get built up there, that would be very disappointing. Personally, I don't care where it gets built. All right? But I do know this. Indiana has moved quickly. Legislators have moved quickly. People want to do whatever it takes to get this done. And quite frankly, if the Bears just decide, you know what, we want to do with business with Indiana, the sky's the limit. It will get done. Now the question is, Illinois is going to step up now in the after working on this for 4 years or whatever, dragging feet, blah blah blah. Again, there's a lot to blame here, but politics always plays a little bit of a role, at the very least, and it plays a massive role when it comes to Illinois and Chicago. So that's just is what it is. People up there know that. People in the state know that. People downstate know that. So we'll see what happens. But I believe there's a better chance for this getting done in Indiana than I did before. They're further down the road. So we'll see where this ends up. The one thing I've been kind of just tired of people doing these interviews with folks and saying, well, what would the Bears be called now? Would they be called the Hammond Bears? Yeah, they'll be called the Hammond Bears. No, they'll be called the Chicago Bears, just like the New York Jets are called the New York Jets. They're in Chicagoland. Now, what I would think would be cool would be to have maybe an alternate uniform. Let's say this ends up in Indiana. Wouldn't it be cool to have like 2 times a year the Bears have their Chicagoland uniforms? That would be awesome because that is Chicagoland, the greater Chicagoland area. So I would think that would be cool. The Chicagoland unis as an alternate uniform for the Bears. Give it up. They could be called the Chicagoland Bears, period. No, they won't. Chicago Bears. But interesting. Interesting to see what happens here. Doesn't matter to me, but Indiana knows how to get stuff done. You needn't look any further than Indianapolis and Lucas Oil Stadium and all the conventions, the major sporting events, the hotels. It's just always, always, always moving forward in Indiana. So if they want to get this done, and the Bears don't do business in Indiana, I'm going to say it's just because the Bears want to stay in Cook County on the Illinois side. And I understand that. I understand that. All right. Hey, get a leg up on the week. Yeah, we're dealing with this winter stuff again. That's got me in I wouldn't say bad mood, but it's weighing on me. It's weighing on me. But it is what it is, as they say. So get a leg up on the week. Off the Rails Sports with Bert Beiswanger, and do what you do and need to do to have a good day.